Hello, everyone. Welcome to Verbling. Hi there. My name is Teacher Oakley, and for the next hour, once again, we're going to look at American states. Uh, Today's class, we're going to talk about Michigan. Actually, I think we did Michigan before a while ago, and we ended up not talking about Michigan, but about Detroit. Which, okay. Um, Any case, hello, Luo. Welcome to
Hello,
the class.
Oakley.
How are you?
I'm fine. And you?
Uh, I'm a little loopy. Do you know what that means?
I don't know what loopy means.
Uh, okay. Well, yesterday I had a very high fever,
Hmm.
39.6, 39.8, and I'm still not fully recovered. I'm loopy. My head is not really, my brain is not firing on all cylinders.
I'm sorry to
Loopy.
hear about that. Sorry,
Yeah,
yes. But have you take
dizzy.
some medicine?
I did yesterday, yes.
Well, last week I have the same. I had the same, fever.
Yeah,
Then I insist to didn't to don't use any medicine for a couple of days. But finally I took some medicine, and
did you?
then I recovered. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't really like to take medicine, but yeah, yeah, you're right. Anyway, yeah, anyway, so I'm a little loopy, a little dizzy, little lightheaded, shall we say. So bear with me. Be kind. Let me welcome some others to the class. Thanks for your sympathy, Luel. I
Oh.
appreciate it. I remember that you had a flu last week. That's why I brought it up. Hello, Anton. Welcome to the class.
Good morning, teacher. How do you do?
Good morning. Is it morning where you are?
Yes, I'm from Spain. Now are
Okay.
10:00 a.m.
Okay. 10.0. 10 in the morning. No need
Yes.
for the point. Okay. 10 in the morning. All right. Where I am, it's 4 in the afternoon. But good morning to you. I'm an American, but I live in the Philippines, Anton. So
Mm-hmm.
welcome. Welcome to the class. Hello.
Thank you.
Hello, Jade.
Hello, teacher. I hope you feel better now.
Oh, thank you. I hope I do too. I've had classes all day long. I just have to make it through this class and then I can rest.
Uh,
Just have to make it through
excuse,
one more.
yeah, excuse me, but you said you a little loopy.
Yeah,
Loopy, according to my dictionary, it said is crazy. Are you crazy? No,
yeah.
I'm
That's why I said a little loopy. Uh,
okay.
Loopy can mean crazy or dizzy. Yeah,
Uh,
I said not mentally right in my head. Yeah,
uh-huh.
right.
In
Absolutely.
British, in British English, is very angry. Are you angry?
Really? I'm not angry.
That's what my dictionary says so.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
Okay.
As you
I hope
know, I'm American, but I'm not angry.
not.
I don't have the strength to be angry. Uh, okay. Um, any case, we're going to talk about Michigan today. What, if anything, do you know about Michigan? Luau, do you know anything about Michigan? This
Yes, I know.
state?
I
Oh,
know this is a state in the USA.
very good. That's a
Uh,
big start. And what else do you know? What is it shaped like?
I know, but I think there may be some great mountains, and the Michigan River. Yes, Michigan River is famous.
Well, in a way, Yeah, kind of. Uh, First of all, not really a whole lot of mountains. I don't think it's really known for its mountains. Let's see. The highest point is only 603 meters. So that's not much. Pretty small, largest mountain. But you are correct. It has a lot to do with the water, but I don't know about Michigan River. It does have a lot to do with water, but let's see what others might say. Anton, what do you know about Michigan? Do you know where it is in the United States?
More or less, I think it's
Very good.
it's part in the upper part of US, uh, more or less in the east, in center east maybe.
Okay, very good. Like that.
And
I like your phrase. Very good. More or less.
and yes, only thing I knew is Detroit is a big city in which you can find a lot of cars fabrics
Car
or
manufacturers.
yes,
Car
but I read
factories.
something about a big crisis in Detroit. It's a
Indeed.
death city.
Yeah, you did.
I read an article about a phantom city.
Phantom City. Ooh, that sounds okay. That sounds like Is that what you said? Phantom City? I like that.
Yes, but I'm trying to explain that is all buildings with no people, no job. It's a big crisis. The government is trying to put more money to reactive the city. Something like this. It was interesting because yes, I said Phantom
Hmm.
City in this way.
Very good. No, I like that. Phantom City. Um, Phantom's not really there. And that's true because a large portion of the population of Detroit, uh, formerly a major automobile manufacturing center, Detroit, a large percentage of the population has moved away. So there are whole neighborhoods with no one in them. Ooh, spooky. That's true. And in fact, the city of Detroit has filed bankruptcy,
Yes.
actually. Right. Uh, they could no longer pay their bills. In fact, it's quite terrifying to live there now because they can't pay for police or emergency medical personnel. So they're very limited with police and medical personnel. Some areas, you call for emergency help, they will come an hour later. You better hope it's not serious in Detroit. Yes, it's a city in crisis. That is very true. Furthermore, what you said, more or less, is more or less correct. Michigan is in the central northern United States. Uh, in fact, it borders Canada. Let's see. Okay, very good. Carmen. Hi, Carmen.
Hi, Oakley. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fine.
Okay, Carmen. Okay, I have to know your Google picture, your avatar. I know this person. She's an actress. Who, who is this person?
That person is me,
It
and I'm
is?
not an actress.
Yes,
Yeah.
you are.
No, I'm not.
Yes,
I
you
wish.
are.
No.
Okay, wait. Everyone in the class, who does she look like? She looks like a famous actress. I'm glad I didn't tell you what else I was going to say. I was gonna say she looks like an actress I had a crush on for many years. She was very popular in like
You
the 80s and 90s.
you were having a fake deja vu, I believe.
Do you think so? Okay,
Yeah.
maybe, maybe, Carmen, maybe. Okay. Um, all right, Anton filled us in a little bit about Detroit. What, if anything, do you know about Detroit? Do you know anything? Not Detroit. I'm sorry, Michigan, the whole state. Do you know
Oh,
anything about the state of Michigan?
it is like in a peninsula. Peninsula, do you say
Very
that?
good. Excellent.
And it has to be very cold, and it has to be beautiful to take pictures, to go to a city like Detroit and take pictures of old buildings and all that decadence. It has to be very interesting.
All that decadence?
Yeah.
Okay. Hmm. Okay. You are right, but not quite right enough. As a matter of fact, Michigan looks like a mitten. Do you know what a mitten is?
No.
You wear on your hands in the winter, and it has a hole for your
Um,
thumb, and then one big space for your four fingers. You put
you
on
mean a
two of them.
glove?
Well, no, a glove has a hole for every finger. Uh,
Okay, okay, okay.
a mitten, often children wear mittens. Personally, I
Okay.
prefer mittens, but okay. Anyway, part of Michigan looks like a glove. It looks like that, which it is a big peninsula. But also another part of Michigan actually is above the other part. It actually is made of two peninsulas. Michigan's very peninsular. Yeah, no doubt. Actually, really, if you want to be technical, it consists of four separate peninsulas, at least. But it's made up of mainly two, because Michigan is completely surrounded by the Great Lakes. Okay, Lake Michigan, obviously, one of the Great Lakes. It has a lot of freshwater coastline. Lake Huron, Lake Michigan. Okay, there's actually 4 of the 5 Great Lakes border Michigan. So it is the big state it's the big state that borders Canada. Definitely. So a lot to do with water. There's a lot of water there. And your second point, it is cold. Yeah, it is cold. You're completely correct. Okay. It is very cold. In the winters, of course, especially. It's hot in the summers, but like a lot of North America, United States in particular, it's very, very cold there in the winter. And they have a lot of snow. But Carmen, why do you want to take pictures of the abandoned buildings in Detroit?
I'm very much interested in that kind of architecture of the first part of 20th century, especially when it has been used with some factory in use. And those kind of buildings with these red bricks and all of that are abandoned. They have some kind of charm. I don't know. I think that, and I think Detroit would be a very good place to take pictures in that if you're looking for that.
Yeah, I suppose you'd be correct. Okay. All right, I see your point now. Thank you for giving me a little detail there. Okay, pronunciation-wise, abandoned. Abandoned. Okay. Don't add an extra syllable to the past tense ending. Abandoned. Okay. Interesting. Okay, but if you go there, Carmen, please be careful. Detroit has an enormous crime rate. Don't go out at night. Don't take any night pictures, please.
Okay, okay, good to know.
Oh yeah. Okay. Um, Jade, can you do you know any other interesting factoids or anything else that's interesting about Michigan you could share with the class?
Uh, is Chicago and Michigan is close or something?
They
Chicago.
are close. Yes, they are definitely close. They are not
They
in the
are.
same state, but they are definitely close. That's true.
Okay. I thought Chicago within Michigan states, but it's no. Okay.
No,
And
but it's very close to the border, as a matter of fact, of the Michigan state.
that I have a friend. She works and lives in Michigan. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Same comment. She always told me it's cold. It's cold. Even though last month she told me, "Oh my God, it's snowing." Could you believe? In spring it's snowing last month.
Last month?
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I do believe that.
And
Yeah.
from a Criminal Mind, this series, American opera, I know about this detail is, like you said, is enormous criminal city. Too much criminal.
Yeah, okay. If you use too, T-O-O, too many, all right? Okay, you can use too much crime, okay, or too many criminals. You can use too much, I should say, but you have to be careful with the many. We use with plural words. Too many bananas. Okay. Too much we use with uncountable nouns. Too much fruit. Okay. For example.
Uncountable.
Yeah, we use too much with uncountable and too many with countable nouns. Okay. Where does your friend live in Michigan? Very curious.
Michigan is not a Detroit. It's a city. There a company. She told me, I couldn't remember. That's a company. Yeah, it's like chemical stuff. Chemical company there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, and okay, that's understandable. Yeah, there are a lot of industries in Michigan, as a matter of fact. Absolutely. A lot of business is done there, and the problem is that a lot of that business was the automobile industry. Okay, one thing I always like to share when I talk to you all about American states are the nicknames. Now, most states only have one nickname. I have no idea why, but Michigan has a bunch. I don't know, but okay. They've got several here. The Great Lakes State, the Wolverine State, the Mitten State, Water Winter Wonderland State. Hello, Nguyen. Go ahead and join the class. Feel free to join us. Okay, let's talk about some of these nicknames. The Mitten State, remember I told you how it looked like a mitten. That one's easy to describe. Luau.
Yes.
Do you have any idea what a wolverine is?
Wolverine sounds like an animal related to wolf, maybe wolfman or something like that. I don't know. I don't exactly know.
Wolfman State, yes. If you go to Michigan, be careful of wolfmen. You have to worry about crime, but also wolfmen. Yeah, well, no, not quite. Wolverine is close to a badger. It's not as big as a wolf. They're just extremely fierce animals. They will fight with wolves, with humans, with bears. They will fight with anything, and they tend to be very aggressive, and they don't really run away. So they're considered to be very fierce animals. Kind of scary. They're not really that big. The size of a porcupine, a raccoon, bigger than a skunk, but not as big as a wolf. But nevertheless, extremely fierce. All right, for some reason, the Great Lakes state, that's obvious. There are wolverines, or used to be anyway, in Michigan. Would explain that. The Mitten State, I told you, on a map it looks just like a mitten. And the Winter Wonderland state, that's pretty obvious too. It's surrounded by water and it gets really cold. So they love anything to do with ice there. The Red Wings, Detroit ice hockey, snowmobiling. Yeah, they don't have really mountains for skiing, but they certainly have winter activities. Luo.
Yeah.
Do you ever participate in winter activities?
Yes, I have been participate in snow skiing.
Ah, really? Okay.
But it's too hard to me to learn it because I'm living in a subtropical area, so the winter activity is me. Yeah.
Right. Okay, that's understandable. I have a second question. We just looked at the nicknames of Michigan. Is it okay? In the United States, basically every state has a nickname. Many cities have a nickname. New York City is the Big Apple. Okay. New Orleans is the Big Easy. Chicago, the Windy City, right? Luau, is the place where you're from, the city or the province or the area, does it have a nickname?
You mean my province or my city?
Either, yeah. Does it have a nickname?
Yes, yeah, of course. My city, well known as the panda's hometown. You can check from the internet. The giant panda, And my province, yes, well known as the abundance of the heaven of the abundant in Chinese. Abundance. Okay.
Abundance. Okay.
Abundance.
Heavenly abundance.
Land of the abundance. Yeah.
Land of abundance. Oh, I got it. Okay. Land of abundance. Oh, that's nice. And home of the pandas. Well, that's cool. If you're gonna have a nickname, that's pretty good. All right. That's not bad. All right, good one. Anton, where are you from? Does your city or your area where you live, does it have a nickname?
Yes, I live in a little town in the south of Spain, as known as Mérida, and for some people, is recognized as Little Rome. Little Rome because we have an important Roman heritage here with Roman buildings, theaters, the National Roman Museum is here. This is nice, and some people likes to name this city like Little Rome.
I like that. That's cool. Okay. Very interesting. All right. Now, okay, that's what I want to go take pictures of. No, no slight on Carmen, but yeah, okay. Roman antiquities, I find very interesting, just for me personally. That's very interesting. Carmen.
Yeah.
How about where you're from? Does the place where you live have a nickname?
It doesn't have a nickname. I mean, the name of the city itself, it is the name of a fruit. I think it is Granada in English. I'm not sure.
Okay.
it is this red fruit with a lot of beans inside, like red beans. Granada. So yeah, we have Granada was the main city in the old Al-Andalus kingdom. It was an Islamic kingdom inside Spain. So we have, like Anton said about that heritage, we have that Islamic heritage. And we have a beautiful palace, kind of fort or palace, which is called Alhambra. So the city, you can find mentions of my city with that name, the city of the Alhambra, because of the monument.
Very interesting. All right. Thanks for sharing. Is Granada, I don't know. I'm totally clutching at straws here. I'm just throwing this out. I don't know. Is Granada the same as pomegranate?
Exactly. Yeah, I was checking it. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Just a guess from your description.
Yeah.
I could think of it. Oh, okay. And in fact, are there pomegranates growing around?
I think so. I think you can find when the weather is right. Yeah.
Right. Okay. When they're when we in English we say when they are in season.
In season, yeah.
Yeah, of course. Okay. Interesting. Okay, Jade.
Yes.
Yes, Jade. How about where you live? Does it have a nickname? Your city or area, province? Does it have any kind of nickname? What is it known as?
I live north of Sweden, a small town. That nickname may be called the student town, student city. Because there are totally 100,000 populations, 35,000 are students here.
Ah, really? Okay.
Yeah, university city, student city here.
Okay. And that may be the nickname. That seems logical. But just in English we have an expression, a university town, to describe such a town. Where, for example, Cambridge, Massachusetts, in the United States, because it's home to Emerson, MIT, Massachusetts Institute of Technology, Harvard.
Oh, right? Yeah.
Several universities. Yeah. So there's many universities in one town. Yeah, it's a university town. Okay. Interesting. Now you're in Switzerland. Switzerland?
Sweden.
Sweden. Okay, you're in Sweden. Oh, even better. So you must participate in winter activities.
Skiing.
Skiing?
Yeah.
Okay. What kind of skiing do you like? Downhill skiing or cross-country skiing?
I'm a hobby for skiing now. I'm just learning.
Okay. Which kind of skiing do you do? On the flat or down the mountains?
Flat. Okay. The mountain is a little bit scared.
Okay.
I have failed once when I was skiing in Switzerland. So since 10 years ago, I skied in Switzerland there. I have failed from uphill, like fly down or something. So I failed. Since then, I stopped to take this kind of risk. I just like children doing, like in the flat ground, like this. No. Yeah.
Okay. So. Wow. Okay. There is a difference. There's two kinds of skiing, pretty much. There's cross-country skiing, which is in a mostly flat area, maybe little hills up and down, of course. and then downhill skiing where you take a lift up the mountain and ski down, right? Okay. Actually, which will bring us back to Michigan, because actually Michigan both is famous for winter sports, skating, and cross-country skiing, as you mentioned. And also, actually, we talk about university town in English. We don't really have a word for it, but if there ever was one, Michigan is kind of a university state. We don't really actually say that, all right? But University of Michigan, Michigan State University, Northeastern, there's a lot of universities in Michigan, and there's some very famous university cities. Ann Arbor, for example. Very, very active in sports. University of Michigan, Michigan State, definitely. In the United States, at least, very, very famous for their rivalries in sports and so forth. Definitely. Okay. Ann Arbor. All right. What do you think? Michigan has to support its economy, Luau? Knowing that they're in the north, knowing that they're bordered completely, almost completely, except the southern part. The north, east, and west is completely. They're bordered by the Great Lakes. Knowing this, knowing that it's cold, can you take a guess? How do you think they make their money? What is their economy like? Do you have any idea?
Yes, actually, I know the Detroit is well known as maybe vehicle city or something like that. So before they had create lots of the economy booming in the United States history. But nowadays, from the competition of the Japanese car, the Detroit has a great recession. Actually, I think I have watched the program from the TED. The speaker said they are encouraged the people living in Detroit to do with urban farming. I have no idea, but
urban farming.
Yeah, urban farming. It seems there are a lot of wilderness places in the urban area. So this area has been getting worse. So they encourage people to live there, but lots of people have no much things to do. So they encourage them to urban farming there. As far as I know. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, okay. There still is an automobile industry. I'm sure you probably heard of General Motors cars, Ford, Chrysler, all of these companies, especially GM, not doing all that well. Yes, due to competition from other countries, many other countries. Definitely. Okay. Urban farming. That's the first I've heard about that. I'm going to have to do some research about that. Yeah. No, I don't doubt it. It makes sense. As I said, there are lots of... Anton and I talked about how there are lots of open areas, phantom city areas where there's nothing there. It makes sense. It's just I didn't know they were doing that. That's all.
Yeah.
Speaking of farming, though, I can tell you the one thing that Michigan farms that they're famous for is, drum roll please, Christmas trees, believe it or not. They are very, yeah, they grow Christmas trees. And in actuality, in the United States, growing Christmas trees is a viable agricultural business, something farmers do. And they can make, even though they only sell Christmas trees for 1 month a year, they're quite profitable. They take very little effort to start and maintain. You grow them for 7 years, and then you sell them, and you make $100. So if you grow, think about it, if you grow 1,000 of them, okay, that's 1,000 times 100. Very nice to get you through the year. Okay, Anton, any other, you seem to know a little bit about Detroit in particular. Do you have any other ideas about the economy in Michigan? What else do they do there? Any ideas?
I suppose it's a beautiful place for tourism, and especially the lake, it could be a good attraction for some people. I don't know in which season. I suppose summer season could be good for swimming, and in winter season could be good for winter sports, I suppose. Mm-hmm. I don't know more about economy. I don't know.
Excellent. Excellent guess, though. You don't know, and I'm asking you to guess, and that is an excellent guess. A state which is bordered by water, of course, has an investment in water sports and tourism. Yes, Michigan does have a large portion of their economy devoted to tourism. You're exactly correct. Very much correct, especially anything to do with water, including things like fishing. Actually, Michigan is also a big hunting state. Remember I talked about the two peninsulas. The upper peninsula, it's very cold, and most of the people are in the lower peninsula. The upper peninsula is basically almost deserted. It's like a completely different place. It's very much wilderness. And there's their economy, they have no industry in the upper part, so their economy, tourism, fishing, and hunting, believe it or not. They actually have a big hunting for tourism industry up there. Okay. Jade, you like hunting? Really? You don't say. Okay. Jade, hold that thought. I'm going to come to you. I'll be talking to you in a minute. Carmen, any other ideas about what maybe the economy is like in Michigan? What do people do there?
I guess they need to do some kind of cherries business, because I've seen in the internet right now that they kind of collect cherries, some kind of cherries. So maybe agriculture is
cherries.
Yeah, I was just checking it right now.
Really? Okay, I did not know about Michigan cherries. Doesn't mean you're not right. You may be right. Actually, unfortunately, the only time I've been to Michigan, I've been through Detroit. I think I spent one night in Michigan. I've only passed through. Well, actually, you are right. Cherries. All right. Blueberries. Blueberries.
Yes.
I love blueberries. Okay. Apples. Okay. So the colder weather fruits. All right. Mm-hmm. Very good. Speaking of foods, Carmen, have you ever had root beer?
Yeah, and I didn't like it. because I wanted to have a non-alcoholic beer, and they came with that root beer, and it was not the flavor I was expecting. So
I bet. Yeah, it's not even remotely like the taste.
Yeah, it has. I don't know what it is called beer at all. I don't know.
I don't either, to be honest. In the olden days, like cowboy days, I believe it was called sarsaparilla. It's made from the root of a certain plant. Sassafras.
I've heard that in many Western movies. Sarsaparilla. Yeah. Oh, so it has to be something very authentic, like really American to do, to drink that root beer.
There you go. Yes, it is part of American culture, and the oldest, actually the oldest soft drink company in the, well, I don't know, maybe the world, but definitely United States, was founded in Michigan. Hires Root Beer, which I still love. Anyway, yeah. They made root beer.
I should have thought about that while drinking that root beer instead of thinking that I wanted just a simple non-alcoholic beer. But
it's very sweet. It's very sweet. It has a lot of caffeine. It will definitely pick you up. I like the taste of root beer, but I especially like it when I need to wake up and I want a blast of sugar and caffeine. Yeah. Okay. In addition, speaking of food, Domino's and Little Caesars. I don't know if you've heard about those. Two pizza. Two of the world's biggest pizza restaurants are founded and developed and grew up in Michigan. So Jade, you say you like to hunt, eh?
Yes.
What are you hunting?
Moose, deers, kind of deer.
No kidding.
No, because we have very much forest here. Hunting moose is traditional in Sweden. Moose, deer.
Okay, I believe they have moose in Michigan, at least the Upper Peninsula, and they have a lot of deer. In Michigan, they especially hunt deer, white-tailed deer. But yeah, I myself am originally from Vermont, which is which is in the Northeast.
Yeah, I have heard this town.
Also largely forested, heavy forests, lots of lakes and rivers, which of course is the place where moose love to go. Yeah, so many people would hunt moose and deer where I'm from as well.
It is the same with Sweden here.
Okay. Okay. I will tell you, I'll be perfectly honest, I love venison, deer meat, and I love moose meat. Yum.
I had a deer steak last Saturday, grilled.
Did you?
Yummy. Yeah.
Nice. Okay. I'm really starving. Okay. I don't know if I can make it the next 10 minutes. Okay. Deer meat is also called venison, by the way. Just venison. Like cow is called beef, pig called pork. Okay. Yeah. Venison. Deer meat. It's called venison.
Thank you. New word.
Sure. New word. There you go. Okay. I don't know where your friend works. I couldn't figure that out. What was it? Something? What did you say? ETA company?
Yeah, ETA.
Okay. I'm not sure what that is. That doesn't mean anything. However, no, it doesn't mean anything. There are, even though Michigan has Detroit, and Detroit is basically a disaster, it is one city and it's in a big trouble. There are other cities like Flint, Michigan, also in big trouble. The fact is, Michigan is a weird state because it has one city is very prosperous and is doing very well. The next city is very not prosperous, is doing very poorly. It's very very kind of odd, or at least odd for me as an American. Kind of like Michigan doesn't know how to manage the cities and towns. They have, it's very, very different. One city's doing great and it's very prosperous. The next city over, it's a dump. It's a mess. So I'm not sure if it's mismanagement or what. But anyway, since we were talking about the economy, in Michigan there are many, many industries that grew up in Michigan, actually. Other manufacturers, energy companies, and it's probably not well known, but the state with the fourth largest technological development is actually Michigan. It comes in number 4, so they have a lot of tech jobs. Of course, you think of tech jobs, you think of California, probably, Silicon Valley, and like that. But there are other states definitely moving into that area. Can you tell me, do you have any idea, okay, for everybody, open question, does anybody know what the National Superconducting Cyclotron Library is? Laboratory, I'm sorry, the National Superconducting Cyclotron Laboratory. Does anybody know what that is? Here, I'll put it in the chat box. Does anybody know what a cyclotron is? And what
Yeah, I've heard, but I thought it was in Europe, in North Europe, somewhere.
Yeah, the big one is, yeah. Yeah, that's right. The superconductor is in Northern Europe. You're absolutely correct. And that's a much bigger one. But the original one was at the University of Michigan. You're right. The one in Europe is much bigger. And they're getting ready to discover dark matter. They're getting ready to kill us all by splitting subparticle atomic whatever particles. They scare me. How about you, Jade? Do they scare you?
I have no idea. This is cyclotron. This I have no idea what this meaning.
Cyclotron. Okay.
Cyclotron.
All right. Does anybody know what a cyclotron is?
Yeah, they try to. I mean, I'm not a science kind of a person, but I'm interested because of that, because sounds very interesting from apocalyptic point of view or whatever. So yeah, they are kind of putting speed on atomic particles to show or find out some applications, technological applications about it. And certain theories. So they kind of want to generate dark materia over here on Earth. So to understand, in order to understand how black holes are created and how they work and what utility we can give to that.
Ah, a black hole, I know. That's okay. Thank you, Hole.
Something you do not want in your neighborhood, all right?
No, not at all.
No, thank you. Recently, they developed a black hole in my neighborhood. This would be time to move, okay? If you can escape the pull of gravity, which is probably impossible. So, yeah, okay. Hopefully they won't get carried away. Okay. All right. The other thing with Michigan, which is impossible to talk about Michigan without talking about the Great Lakes. They are huge. Has anyone here ever been? Has anyone here ever been to the United States? First of all,
I think
I
so.
have been to, yeah.
you have. Where
I
did
have
you go?
been to Ontario, I mean, very close to this
Very good.
area. Yeah.
Okay. Did you happen to see Lake Ontario?
Yes, I have seen. You have seen Ontario Lake.
Okay. Which we call Lake Ontario. Excellent. Well, I'll have you know, as a child, that's where my family went on our summer vacations. We went to Lake Ontario. Anyway, fishing and camping and hiking and swimming. So I'm well acquainted with Lake Ontario. It's big. They're big. They're big. It's weird because they're spread out and they're kind of like they're called also the Finger Lakes. They're long and they stretch out for many hundreds of miles. So if you look on a map, they don't really look that big, but in fact, they are. If you stretch
Yes,
them out.
it's a border between the U.S. and Canada. I know.
Yes, quite a bit. At least a third of the border is the Great Lakes. Exactly. So that's quite a ways. The other thing with Detroit itself borders with Canada directly across a little bridge, I believe. And so another major problem in Detroit is smuggling. As well as smuggling across the Great Lakes. The Great Lakes, of course, were used for transport items from Chicago, which is, again, earlier we mentioned, is near the bottom of Michigan, but borders on the Great Lakes as well, which is why Chicago is such a big city. And other Great Lakes is connected to the St. Lawrence River by the Great Lakes, and then out to sea by going by Montreal and out that way. So Luau, you were in Ontario, is that right?
Yes. Because I had a road trip. For music. I went to the what city? What town? Let me think. Eastman, because there is a university, Eastman musical
Okay.
university, maybe. So I went there to see admire the university. Yeah.
Oh, okay, interesting. Okay, was this in Canada? I don't know Eastman. It sounds familiar.
Eastman, nearby Rochester. Rochester.
Oh, New York.
New York, yeah, New York. Rochester
Okay.
is a town. Yeah.
Right. Rochester is a city in upstate New York. It's called upstate, northern New York. Yes, very true. Okay, New York is bordering where I grew up in Vermont. And they're all along the same, basically parallel as Michigan. So the weather's very much the same. Actually, you have Michigan up here, and then there's some states down below, Indiana, Illinois, Ohio, Pennsylvania, and then New York is on. New York, Vermont, and Maine are on the same level as Michigan, just as cold. So, okay, if you were up there, you know pretty much exactly what the climate is like. In Michigan, it would be the same as it is in upstate New York. Somebody else said they went to the United States. Did somebody
Yes,
else? Carmen?
I went. The closest I've been to Michigan, it has been Toronto, actually.
Well, that's pretty close.
But that's not United States. But yeah,
Yeah,
being
but
in the
it's-
United States.
It's about this close, though. It's very close.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. It's very close. Toronto.
But
would you?
that's an area I would love to visit in the future. Yes, the Great Lakes area, because I've never been there.
Well, pretty close in Toronto. How did you like Toronto?
Yeah, I liked it. I went in summertime. I had the feeling it was a city made to live a very tough winter. I had that
Yeah.
feeling.
Yeah.
And at the same time, yeah, I mean, I like it. I was not there for a long time, but a few days only, but I enjoyed it.
Okay. Um, yeah, most Americans really like Toronto. Toronto's a very nice city, friendly city, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of as opposed to many areas in the United States that are not so friendly. Okay, one of the most crazy names again about Michigan, I have to share with you because we're almost out of time. Is there is actually a place called Kalamazoo. One thing I like about Michigan, it has some crazy names to their cities. Yes, in fact, there is a place called Kalamazoo. And I actually had a friend who was from Kalamazoo, strangely enough. But it's a small town. But anyway, it exists. There is such a place. So you can go there if you so choose. All right. Anton, would you like to go to Michigan if I give you a free plane ticket?
I don't understand. Sorry, teacher.
Would you like to go to Michigan?
Of course. I want to travel and I want to visit all the most places I can. I was in the States, but it was in Florida, too far from this point.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, you should go to Florida right away before the Antarctica melts and Florida disappears. If you would like to see Florida, now would be the time, because, of course, slowly it's going to disappear. And yes, Carmen, Kalamazoo is mentioned in, I think, more than one folk songs.
Yeah, I've heard it when you mentioned it. Yeah, right now I cannot remember, but I've heard it.
Yeah, I can't remember either. Like only one piece of the song is going through my head. I can't remember. Anyway, guys, we're just about out of time. Jade, you want to go to Michigan if I give you a free ticket?
Thank you very much.
Good answer.
I think it's time for me to discover North American, like American, United States, and Canada. I have been almost all the European country and the Asian country. Now maybe it's time to go to North America.
Sure, absolutely. Great idea. On that note, I couldn't have ended any better. Thank you, everyone, very much. Thank you for joining the class and talking to me a little bit about Michigan. I enjoyed it very much, and I'll see you guys next time here on Verbling. You guys all have a great day.
You too.
Hope you recover very soon.
Thank you, Lua. I appreciate that very much.